and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is the yearly overview for 2026 for the earth sign of Capricorn. Capricorn, I hope that you are doing well. So we're getting into the energies coming in for you in this new year. For the reading today, so I'm going to be pulling one card for each month, an additional card for the overall energy for the year, and then I'll pull clarifiers, and then we'll go through everything. And it's just to show you, each month what energies you can expect, right, that you have coming in for that particular month. I'm using the Muse Tarot deck by Chris Ann, and the clarifiers are from the Pride Tarot deck. Just a reminder, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate. If they do and you enjoy the reading today, please do consider giving the video a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. You can also subscribe to the channel. That way you will be notified whenever I do upload new content. And for those of you who might just be finding me new here today, I do put out monthly readings for all of the signs here on YouTube each month. And I post more regularly on TikTok. There I do weekly readings, shorter readings, as well as, mid-monthlies and monthlies. So you can check me out over there. I'm at Changing Phases Tarot on TikTok. All right, so let's get going. So I have been shuffling off camera and meditating on your sign, but I'll go ahead and give the deck a few more shuffles. Spirit, what are the energies surrounding Capricorn? What does Capricorn have in store for 2026? That was just a clump of cards. We'll put that back. Messages for Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know for 2026? All right, we'll do one last shuffle for this. And divide the deck. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and lay the card. So the top row, this will be the first 6 months. So January, February, March. Move things down a bit. April, May, June. And the bottom row, July, August, September, October, November, December, and we'll use the card at the bottom of the deck as the overall energy for the year. I will show you that one second, but let me get the I want to get the clarifiers down because then I'll be using both cards together. Spirit clarifying the energies for Capricorn 2026. What are the energies coming in for Capricorn? Clarifying the energies for 2026. I feel that for many Capricorns, there's going to be sort of a shift this year to, moving your life forward. We'll see how that comes through in the reading. Okay, we'll divide the deck. And I'll do the same. I'll go ahead and put down the cards. So we have clarifying January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, and again, bottom of the deck. Okay. So the overall energies that we have for the year for you, we have the 6 of Voices. So this would be the 6 of Swords, clarified by the 3 of Cups. So yeah, it looks like, this year is going to bring in movement, is going to bring in change. There's going to be celebration. The 6 of Swords, it can, obviously in this deck, it shows it quite differently, but in the traditional tarot deck, there's a woman, she's in a boat, right? She's being rowed away from sort of choppy waters, heading into calmer waters, representing a, moving on from something, from a situation in your life. And even though you might not know what lies ahead, right, you're moving into a period that is going to be calmer. It's going to be sort of better for you. So improvements coming in. The Six of Swords can also represent movement, actually moving across, right? Or to be by water or crossing over water, travel. So travel by sea can represent like moving to a different place, overseas. So there's that as well. And then the Three of Cups, it's, is the suit of cups, has to do with our feelings, emotions, relationships. It is a card of celebration. It can be as insignificant as sort of just getting together with friends, right? Spending time with the people that mean a lot to you in your life, to more significant celebrations. So celebrating a promotion, celebrating news of an engagement, a wedding, news of a pregnancy, birth of a child, right? But there's some type of celebration here, and it's surrounding a move, surrounding, something to do with like an internationally moving on, or, moving out of a situation into another. So it does definitely look very positive, just as an overall energy. So starting off with the month of January, wow, you have the Priestess. So this is the High Priestess, Major Arcana number 2. So this is very powerful energy to start the year off with. She is, a very spiritual figure. She sits sort of between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. And she also encourages us to tap into our own, spirituality, our own psychic gifts. So when the High Priestess shows up, there might be a focus on spirituality. You might be receiving messages, so paying attention to signs, synchronicities coming in. She's also associated with the moon, but with the sign of Cancer as well. And we have more water energy as the clarifier, which is the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups can be a new offer coming in, right? Aces are blessings from the universe. They are they're yes cards. If there's something that you've been waiting for an answer on, the answer might be coming in for you in the month of January. If this is a new offer, it could be one that brings you great joy, great happiness. It can, sometimes the Ace of Cups, it can represent news of a pregnancy, so that pregnancy coming in, or news of it. It can also be like a new offer of love, so a new relationship starting up. But it's, it's also water energy, so it has to, again, like I was saying with this Three of Cups, has to do with emotion, relationships. But also, going back to this High Priestess, might be a time where you are really listening to those messages, that your intuition, that sort of gut feeling, messages coming through at nighttime even. It might be a good month, or as you begin the new year, it might be a good idea to get sort of a dream journal where you can write down any messages that might be coming through that way, but a focus on spirituality or new things coming in January. We have in the month of February, the Page of Emotions, so more water energy here, right? This is the page, would be the Page of Cups, and what's being is being clarified by the Seven of Swords. So Page of Cups, similar to what I was saying with the Ace, pages can, they usually bring in news about something. In the case of the Page of Cups, it could be news of a pregnancy. I feel like I'm sort of repeating myself, but these are some of the messages that, or some of the meanings for this card. So news of a pregnancy, it can be news of sort of this new relationship starting up. If this is like a new offer coming in, going back to that Ace of Cups, say it's a new job offer, it might be one that brings you great joy, great happiness. But with it being clarified by this Seven of Swords, the Seven of Swords, you can see that it's like he's looking kind of sneaky here. He's, stealing away with these Five Swords. It can represent a lack of planning, the Seven of Swords, because he didn't plan well enough. He's left two swords there that the people that are left behind will be able to defend themselves with. But it can also, it can be a lack of planning, but it doesn't necessarily have to be negative, right? Or, that it's like deceptive in a very negative way. It can be sometimes if you are, say you're on job sites, you're looking at jobs, right? You might be sending your resume out to different companies just because you're looking to move jobs. but you're not necessarily broadcasting that to everybody in the place where you're currently working, right? So you're doing things sort of behind the scenes. It can also be sort of coming up with a new, different way of doing something. So planning, you know, and doing something differently. But, you know, with it clarifying this news surrounding whatever this new offer that brings you joy, yeah, that might just, you might need to view the situation in a different way, or you might need to do something differently, right? With whatever this new opportunity is, like, don't approach it in the same way that you have done in the past, right? If it's a new relationship starting up, allow the new relationship to sort of prove itself, you know, show you what it really is, instead of entering into the new relationship kind of carrying baggage from the past, just like going back to the Six of Voices, where you're moving out of choppy waters into calm. So you're heading in this new direction. So there's a need to kind of leave the past in the past. Wow, we have some great cards so far. We have, for the month of March, Major Arcana number 17, the Star, and associated with the air sign of Aquarius, and it's being clarified by the Two of Cups, which is the minor arcana version of the Lovers. So for some of you, there could be wish fulfillment coming in the month of March. The star can sometimes show up when, you know, you are the star, so you might be standing out from the rest of the crowd. If you've gone for some job interviews, this might be you getting the news that you are the one that they've chosen. If you've gone for, say, you know, like you're an actor or, you know, something, a musician, something along those lines, and you've gone out for a part or a position, this is you standing out from the rest of the crowd. If you're on social media, this might be, you know, you standing out at this time from other people posting the same type of content, or one of your videos goes viral, something along those lines. But it's also a card of healing, of good health, and it is, you know, wish fulfillment. It's the wish upon a star. So having all of your wishes come true with the Star card, and it's helped or hindered, or, you know, the clarifier, I guess, with the Two of Cups. There could be definitely, for some of you, there could be a love connection coming in, right? And it's one that you have sort of been hoping for, wishing for quite a long time. The Two of Cups, if it's not romantic in nature, the Two of Cups can be, you know, like a soulmate connection, understanding that soulmates don't necessarily have to be romantic in nature throughout our lifetime. So we can have many soulmates that appear. They can be in the form of, you know, friends, co-workers. It can also be the Two of Cups. Sometimes it can be sort of you and your higher self. So like going back to the spirituality, like you getting in touch with your higher self. But, you know, dreams coming true, wish fulfillment, possible love connection in the month of March. April, you have the Queen of Inspiration, and being clarified by the King of Swords. So the Queen of Inspiration, this would be the Queen of Wands. So it could be an older fire sign individual that you know, is playing a significant role in your life this month. Could be you taking on the energy of this Queen of Wands, this fire energy. So, you know, if it is a person, this would be an older Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. If it's you, this could be just, you know, a month where you are kind of taking charge, multitasking, right? Dealing with a number of different things at one time, but you're doing it very well. I mean, this is what the Queen of Wands does. She's a very fiery energy. She's very dynamic. She's great for if there are new projects to begin, right? She's great energy to have. So you might be, if you are beginning new projects or beginning, you know, entering into a new job or anything along those lines, she would be great energy to have, because she's great at multitasking. She's great at, you know, at getting things done. She's also very beautiful, very, so it might be you just sort of focusing on your appearance at this time, right? You are standing out to others. They're looking at you and you're really catching everybody's eye. So there's also that when the Queen of Inspiration shows up. And, you know, what's clarifying her, this King of Swords, sometimes he shows up when you are seeking guidance. So it could be going to speak with somebody who is in that type of figure, you know, that type of figure who offers guidance. So like a guidance counselor, could be seeking legal guidance. As the King of Swords, he's, you know, he's the king of like communication. He's great with his words. He's a great communicator. He's also great at resolving issues or disputes. He's very fair, very just person. So you could be, handling a situation with a great deal of care or tact in the month of April. But it looks like it's a month where, there's a lot of communication coming in, and there's also like a lot of new things that have to begin. And so you're kind of handling a lot of new projects, just new situations, and relying on your words, relying on communication in the month of April. In the month of May, we have the Six of Emotions with the Seven of Cups. So there's a progression here. This would be the Six of Cups and the Seven of Cups. So the Six of Cups clarified by the Seven of Cups. Six of Cups, it's a very nostalgic energy. It can show up when you're reconnecting with, either reconnecting with your sort of your child, your inner child, or things that you used to enjoy doing when you were a child. It can be things like reconnecting with people from, from your childhood or where you grew up. You might be going back during this time, right? During the month of May, you might be going back to where you used to live when you were a child, reconnecting with people from the past, whether this is just, friends, or if it, might be in the workplace. You might be going back to somewhere where you used to work as well. So it is a very nostalgic type of energy, past life connections as well. When it shows up in a reading, you are guided to, whatever or whoever you are meeting up with from the past. It's important to, to take those rose-tinted glasses off, see the situation for what it actually is today. Because oftentimes when we look back on the past, we tend to do so with these rose-tinted glasses on, that things might, look, or we might envision things as being better than they actually were in the past. So just, make sure that you are being sort of realistic, or approaching the situation and letting people or situations prove themselves to you now, I guess, in the present, and show you who they truly are now in the present. The Seven of Cups is the clarifier. There's a need to, to bring one of these cups down into reality. It oftentimes, it represents too many choices, right? We can see that each cup here holds something that the person on the card might enjoy, but while they're all just up in the clouds there, right, they're just dreams. None of them are reality, and so there's a need to kind of laser focus your attention on one of the cups. What is it that you want at this time? And then pick that one cup and manifest it, and have that be your Ace of Cups. So lots of like emotional energy in the month of May. For June, we have the Four of Inspiration, which is the Four of Wands, and it's clarified by the Moon. This is number 18 of the Major Arcana. So the Four of Wands can represent marriage. It can be to do with the home, like buying a home, moving home. So with the marriage card, and I did mention we had the Two of Cups here with the soulmates. We had the celebration with the Three of Cups. So for some of you, you might be celebrating a marriage, or you might be celebrating a home move, if you're moving in with somebody else or buying your own home. But be careful with this. The Moon showing up as the clarifier. The Moon, it's Major Arcana number 18. And it's, it does, or it can represent fears, needing to face fears, hidden things coming to light. So if it is to do with the home situation, just make sure that you, especially if you're buying a home or moving home, make sure that you find out all of the information that you need. Make sure that you do any background checks that you need to do, or have the house, whatever homes, like the survey that you have to have done on the home. Make sure that you check everything. You don't want any surprises with things coming to light. It's also about facing your own fears with the moon card. Again, it can help you when the moon card shows up to tap into your spirituality. So again, paying attention to the signs, synchronicities, right? The messages coming through, especially at nighttime in your dreams. So again, the possible need for a dream journal. Interesting. All right, let's move into the second half of the year. So we have here for the month of July, the Strength card. So this is Major Arcana number 8. Okay, the Strength is associated with the fire sign of Leo, and it is being clarified by Major Arcana number 13, Death. So we've had quite a number of Major Arcana show up so far. But, you know, Strength with Death, the Strength card is about having that inner strength, determination, drive, ambition to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve, right? It's about having the inner strength. So there could be a situation in the month of July that you are needing to, you know, kind of rely on your inner strength to face whatever, if there's a challenge coming in, right? Digging deep, relying on your inner strength to face that, whatever that challenge is. And, you know, with it being clarified by the Death card, this could have to do with, you know, a significant ending. So a chapter coming to an end in your life. This could be ending a job, right? This death cycle, it represents the ending of a cycle in your life. So, you know, if you're leaving one job, heading into a new job, we did have, you know, with other references here to the possible change, right? The new offers coming in. So if there is a leaving behind of something with the Death card, well, just know that through death comes new life, right? This ending is necessary to bring in the brand new beginning that you are going to have. So just, you know, have that inner strength, determination to face this often, you know, challenging moment of going through, because change is not easy, right? I mean, it's always difficult if you are leaving behind one job. As much as you might be excited about moving into the new job or moving to a new area or moving, you know, city or state or country, you always end up, you know, you're going to miss the people that you leave behind. You might be anxious about the people that you're going to be, you know, they're going to be coming into your life. So, you know, it's understandable, this sort of anxiety, you know, and so the need to have the inner strength and determination to deal with that. In the month of August, we have Justice, a Major Arcana number 11, right? And Justice, the clarifier that came out, is another Major Arcana number 15, the Devil. This is your card, right? Capricorn is associated with the Devil. So we have the Justice card is, you know, this is karmic justice being served here. So, you know, this, if there is, say a new job coming in or whatever this new cycle is that's starting up, I feel that it's been a long time coming. And it's a karmic justice being served. So the scales of justice are evening out this month, right? And as far as the clarifier goes, the Devil, it can represent what it represents, the need for balance, right? To be restored, the need for things in your life to be in balance. It can also have to do with, it might show up when things are out of balance. So like when you're working too much, you know, like, or whatever you might be doing, so you're neglecting other areas of your life. It can also have to do with, say, eating too much, drinking too much, just, you know, things in excess. So with this coming in to clarify this Justice card, this, you know, scales of the balance being restored, it's kind of like they cancel each other out almost in the reading. But yeah, just pay attention to, I guess, that you are allocating appropriate amounts of time to every, you know, the different areas of your life and not neglecting certain areas, I guess. Interesting. So we had the minor arcana version of the Lovers show up. Now we have, for the month of, where are we? September, we have the Lovers. So this is Major Arcana number 6, the Lovers, and it's being crossed by the Three of Swords. And, you know, don't get too upset with this showing up, because, you know, I think that, like I was saying with Yeah, like the message I was getting back here with the Seven of Swords, with this new thing coming in, the new relationship possibly, I feel that this Three of Swords, even though it's showing up in the future, I feel that this has to do with past heartache. I feel that, with a new relationship starting up, this new connection, there's, you're being guided to not allow any past heartache to come in to whatever this new cycle, this new relationship is. So leave it where it needs to be, right? Leave it in the past. Because, the Three of Swords, yeah, it can be, heartache. It can be a third-party situation. It can also just be in more general terms, like a disappointment. So there could be a disappointment surrounding a relationship. But when the Lover shows up, it can be well, actually, in addition to the love connection, lovers can also be like a head or heart decision, which can never be easy, right? So there might be this heartache or disappointment or some type of angst, anxiety surrounding a head or heart decision, even, which, if it does have to do with these other moves, right, the other endings that have already showed up in the reading, that might be related to that, right? Let's keep going. So we have, for the month of October, the Five of Voices, so the Five of Swords, and it's being clarified by the Three of Pentacles. So Five of Swords, it's, yeah, it can be, it's a difficult energy. It can represent, sort of, again, like betrayal, with it, it's a suit of voices or swords. So it has to do with communication, right? It's a suit of the mind. It's how we get our ideas across to other people as well. And with it being clarified by the Three of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles has to do with, it can show up when you're joining a new, like into a new team in a workplace environment, right? It's you joining into the new team. It has to do with it being Pentacles. The suit of Pentacles is, earth energy. So it's your own energy. And it's, it's everything to do with how we earn our money. So it's the material realm. So it's the money we earn. It's our home, our family, material possessions, right? And the three, it's, in order for you to continue improving as far as your finances go, yeah, you might need to partner up with other people. So yeah, there could be some type of disappointment, or, a possible, like, yeah, like a workplace maybe dispute or something along those lines here with this Five of Swords. But, the Five of Swords can also, it can show up when there's like this kind of clarity of thought that comes out of a difficult situation. So, when there's been like a sense of uncertainty, a sense of vulnerability, it can sometimes show up when, it's like all of a sudden you figure out what you need to do, or things become clear. But there is some type of anxiety, I think, surrounding this Five of Voices, but, and possibly this entering into this new work environment. Month of November, we have the Eight of Emotions. So this is the Eight of Cups. And we have the Empress. So Major Arcana number 3. And it's interesting because two of the main cards that show or can represent movement, travel, moving on in the tarot, you have both of them, right? You have the Six of Voices as the overall energy, and the Eight of Cups, which, the Eight of Cups, obviously this deck shows it quite differently than in the traditional tarot. Traditional tarot, there are all the cups have sort of spilled out, and the person turns their back and is walking away from a situation, representing that, all of the cups that at one point meant, or fulfilled the person, or had some meaning in their life, they no longer satisfy them. So, they know that they can't stay where they are. And so they turn their back on the situation. And even though The future is unknown. They're unsure of what lies ahead. They know that they can't stay put where they are. So there's a moving on, right? There's a change here, moving. It can be, yes, actually moving again. So we have a number of cards that speak of that. And it's being clarified by the Empress, which is a card of growth potential, of expansion, right? The Empress is, she's like the Earth Mother. So she, you know, she's also very beautiful, very alluring. So again, could be a year where you are, you know, really focusing on your outward appearance. You might be just, you know, coming across as very beautiful to other people this year, which might also explain the potential for love coming in, right? Attracting new love into your life. She's associated with Taurus and Libra, but she can also speak of, you know, growth potential, but like fertility. So that could, again, for some of you, obviously this won't be everybody, but there could be news of a pregnancy, birth of a child, right, coming in with the Empress. Within the workplace environment, this, you know, she's great energy to have for growth potential surrounding new projects, new business ventures. So with it clarifying this walking away, you know, you're definitely like where you're heading is where you should be going. Like you need to be moving forward, even if it's a little bit painful, right? No, understanding that you're leaving behind people, situations, but you know, throughout the year, it's like you have repeated messages here of, yes, you need to be moving on, right? That's where you need to be going. We have, as you close out the year for the month of December, the Page of Inspiration. So this is the Page of Wands, so more fire energy here. And the Page of Wands brings in news of, you know, a new project, a new job, a new business venture. It's also like that, you know, that sort of spark of creativity as well. Could be dealing with a younger fire sign individual, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, but it's, you know, pages, they bring in news. So this is like news about something to do with, you know, work or creative projects. And it's clarified by this Knight of Cups. This is sort of the Prince Charming in the Tarot, right? He's the Knight of Cups. He brings in an offer. In this case, it's like usually an offer of love. If it's not love, if it is to do with, you know, a new project or a job, it's one that's going to bring you kind of great joy, great fulfillment, going to be, you know, emotionally happy as well as like sort of mentally challenged, and just, you know, overall you're going to be feeling great about whatever this new thing is. It can also be, this could be, you know, the person. We've had the Two of Cups, we have the Lovers. This could be a love connection for some of you. Won't be everybody, but Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, with it being water energy. So, you know, just in general, you know, looking at the year as a whole, it looks like it is going to be a year of change for many of you, Capricorn. It's going to be a year of possible movement. That's showing up quite clearly. Endings, new beginnings. Possibly, you know, moving to a different location entirely. For some of you overseas, there could be, home moves here. Some of you might be buying a home. And there's, you know, there is a love potential showing up here for you this year, right? With the wish fulfillment, the Two of Cups, the Lovers card showing up. But, you know, there's a need for balance as you move through the year. There's a need for you to, you know, the balance sort of within, like maintaining, like trying to, as hard as it is, whenever, you know, whatever does come your way as far as change throughout the year, just maintaining that even keel. So you maintaining, kind of going within, having that inner strength to face any change, whatever might come in for you this year. But change is definitely the key word for you. So I do hope that these messages have helped. I thank you for joining me today. I do hope that you have a wonderful 2026. And just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light. Bye for now.